Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a different type of video than I've done on my channel before. It's going to be more of a chit chat, let's talk about this type of video. So pull up a chair, get comfortable on the couch, and let's get into it. So the topic for today is relationships. Kind of relationships in general, but more for females and relationships like romantic relationships and things like that. And of course when we're old or when we're young, however old we are, like females just have this tendency to want to be in a relationship, and I guess that just comes from the need to want to be taken care of and want to be like nurtured and like loved and all that good stuff. But there can be times where our want to be in a relationship can really hinder our choice making and the things that we do. And sometimes, like, you know, sometimes we settle for guys that are not really worth it because we want to be in a relationship so bad. And that's not necessarily true, but I'm just going to share you guys some advice and tips from my personal experience and just from things that I've observed of other people that are around me, or just things that I've seen just in general. You know, just of things that I've noticed that maybe we shouldn't be doing as females. So let's get into it, shall we? Alright, so my first word of advice is, in any relationship that you're in, you need to be true to you. That's in any relationship. That's across the board. Relationship with your parents, with teachers, with friends, boyfriends, whatever it is. You need to be true to who you are. For instance, don't change your values and your beliefs just based off of what a guy is saying to you, like because of what he thinks. And I've seen this so many times, and I've seen this in friendships too. I remember when I was in school one time, and I don't remember what the exact situation was, so I'm just going to use like chewing gum for instance. So I would be like, I don't like gum, like I don't like prefer to chew gum. And then a girl would be like, oh yeah, me neither, I really can't stand chewing gum. And then it's like, well, I actually like it sometimes when I think about it. Like, I think I really do like chewing gum. I'm like, oh yeah, me too, I totally like it too. Okay, that was a test just to see if you were going to choose the same thing that I chose. And of course, when we're young, like, we're finding ourselves and we just want to be accepted and all that. But when it comes to a guy, this is absolutely unacceptable, because if you compromise who you are for that person, then that you are really risking losing yourself completely. And if the person likes you because you're lying about things like that, even though it's a small thing, even bigger things too, then that means that the person doesn't really like you anyway, because that's not who you are. So you have to be sure to just stay true to who you are, your beliefs, your values, your morals, all that stuff, like whatever that is, like let it be where it should. Now sometimes, like, a person can influence you into something better, and sometimes that can be a good thing, but if it's pulling you down and you know when that's the case, then that's definitely a no-no, okay? If you agree with every single thing, first of all, something's wrong. And number two, if you are changing what you believe or saying that you believe the same thing as someone else just so they'll like you, they don't really like you, because that's not you. So you gotta be yourself, boo. You gotta do you, boo, okay? But seriously, like, stay true to who you are, because if you don't, you'll find yourself getting to the point where you lose yourself and you don't really know who you are anymore, because you adapted and changed yourself so much for this person. Like, who are you, you know? So that's number one. The next thing is, going along with that, is just having confidence in who you are. If you don't have confidence in who you are, how can you be in a relationship? Like, and it's not about ready to be in a relationship or not ready to be in a relationship. That's not really what this video is about. But if that applies to you, then sure, go ahead and take it. But if you're not confident in who you are, then there's no point in being in a relationship, because that means that you're looking for confidence somewhere else. And if you're getting confidence from someone else and that's your only source of confidence, then something is wrong. Like, you gotta have something about you that you love, something that pushes you, something that is inside of you that makes you fall in love with yourself in a way, you know? And if you don't have that, then like, you gotta go out and find that, and a guy is not gonna be able to give that to you. Like, it may bring you a temporary glimpse of happiness, like I said before, but it's not gonna be anything that sustains you, that's gonna be able to keep you forward. And one of the ways that I do that is having a relationship with God, because He shows me things about myself that make me fall in love with myself, and that's just how I feel about it. But if you're not a Christian, or you're not religious, or however you want to put it, you know what I mean? Even just for you, like, you have to learn how to love yourself and have confidence in who you are, and not always base that off of somebody else's opinion of you, you know? And the next thing is something that I've seen time and time again, mostly in movies, but it happens in real life too, is that when people get in a relationship and they just leave their friends in the dust, and it's like, you have to keep your friends. Like, Keep your friends, and not only that, but care about what they think about your guy. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, you should just listen to them no matter what, because everybody's opinion is not always right, but at the same time, you should care what they think, because love can be blind, liking can be blind, when you're just, oh, like, oh, I love this, and I love that, and I love that, and you just like, no, you know, don't mind that, and that, you know, whatever. Sometimes love can be blind. Like, sometimes we don't see the flaws, we don't see the things that are not as desirable in a person, because we're just looking at all the things that we love so much about them, especially in the beginning. So that's why it's just super, super important to make sure that you get the opinions of people that you care about and people that really, really care about you, because if you don't, then you could be blind and going into something blind, and then you're all messed up, okay? This is the main thing that I'm talking about in relationships, because I think that it comes in so many different forms, and that is neediness. Neediness, aka the thirst. It's like you have to be in a relationship, or you have to be in this relationship, and you need it to eat, sleep, and breathe and all that stuff. Like, that is not reality. Take it from someone who is married. Like, eating, sleeping, and breathing another person is like, it gets old, trust me. Like, you gotta have your own life, you gotta have your own stuff, and I'm gonna talk about some of the signs of thirst. So, you might wanna get a pen or pad down and start tallying up how many of these apply to you, because this may help you figure out if the relationship you're in is worth it, or if you're just in a needy situation and that's the only reason you're in this relationship, and then maybe you can do something else to help that, rather than be in a relationship that is probably not going to end well anyway. All right, so number one, if you're in touch with him 24/7, if you're always talking and texting and kicking and whatever everyone does these days, like, seriously, I can't get down with everything, but seriously, if you're always in contact with them, always on FaceTime, always texting, always calling, always checking in, always seeing what they're doing, always them seeing what you're doing, like, that is a sign of neediness and thirst. Like, if you cannot take a few seconds of your day, if you can't take an hour of your day without texting this person, something is wrong. And honestly, I'm speaking from personal experience here, because I used to be that way, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Now, to my own defense, I will defend myself, okay? To my own defense, I was in a long distance relationship, and I didn't get to see the person all the time, which is now my husband, and of course I wanted to talk to him whenever I could. But at the same time, it's not like the person's not going anywhere, like, you're not losing time. So you just need to make sure that your life is balanced and that you're doing stuff for yourself, because if you get to the point where you're always on the phone, you're always doing this and you're always doing that, and it always has to do with that person, then guess what? Your whole life is about that person, and what about you? And you may think it's making you happy, but you need time with yourself to make you happy. Like, that's my point. Like, if you don't ever spend time with just yourself, then you're not giving yourself a chance to make you happy. You know what I mean? And then you're never gonna feel like you're gonna be okay without a guy. Like, you gotta be able to take that time. So even if you're in a relationship, like, have that separation to where, like, you can still have your own stuff going on. You have your own life. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like, take time to go out with your friends. Like, it's not always gonna have to be about this guy. Like, he will be fine. Trust me, and trust me, he's not thinking about you 24/7 all the time either. Like, you're probably thinking about him more than he's thinking about you. I know you don't want to hear that, but I'm telling you right now that it's probably almost definitely 100% positively true. I'm telling you, just telling you. So you need to have your own time and space, and you need to let him have his as well. Because if you suffocate him, then that's not a good sign either. So even if it is a good guy, even if this is the person for you, if you're suffocating him, then he's just gonna get annoyed. So just chill, alright? Chill. Just chill. Alright, so another sign of thirst. Number 2, you rarely use his actual name. We are in the land of pet names. There is a plethora of pet names out here for a significant other. Bae. Bae is like, bae. That is like the main one. Bae, boo, babe, baby, sweet cheeks, pumpkin, snickerdoodle. I don't care what you call him. If you don't call him by his actual government name, at least the first part of it, his first name, if you don't call him by his name ever, and you always use his pet names, that is a sign of thirst, because that shows us that that should show yourself that you are in a false reality. Like, of course you can use endearing names here and there, you know what I mean, it's cute, but if you never use a person's actual real name, that is a sign of thirst, that is a sign of neediness, that is a sign of you need to do something about this right now. Yeah, like, relationships are about moderation. So of course the pet names are fine sometimes. I'll be calling Bae sometimes, and you know, I call Daniel Bae or Babe. Never boo and never baby. The next sign of neediness I'm going to talk about, which is number 3, is if you never say no. If you're always saying yes to everything that he asks for, you have to be able to say no. No is not a bad word. It's actually a magical word. It sets a boundary in your relationship, and boundaries are important. Why? Because if you don't have them, then you're going to end up just getting slapped around and shoved around into doing whatever they want you to do, and you're just letting it happen. You don't even know it's happening to you. You have to be able to say the word no. At times, if you don't want to do something, just say no. Sometimes even if you do want to do it, but you feel like you shouldn't do it, just say no. Just say no. And if honestly, if they really, really love you, then they're going to be okay with that. They're going to respect your boundaries. They're going to respect what you want. And they're going to respect you more for saying no. If you always just do everything that they ask, then they're not going to appreciate you. They probably wouldn't even care about you, to be honest. Like, they're probably using you. Now, I'm not saying that in every situation, but honestly, you have to be able to say no in some situations. No, saying no sets your boundary line, okay? So if the person asks you to do such and such and you really don't want to do that, you're saying no, that is a boundary for me. Or for instance, it could be a boundary about money. You know what I mean? Oh, can you pay for this, or can you buy this? I promise I'll pay you back. No, that's a boundary. Or, hey, like, I really want to take the friendship to the next level. Like, I want to sleep with you, such and such and such. That's a boundary for me. No. You have to be able to say no. Like I said, you have to have your own morals, your own beliefs, your own opinions about things. You have to stick to them. And when something that the other person does crosses with that, you have to be able to say no. If you can't say no in a relationship, then that means that there's some ounce of neediness inside of you to where you feel like if you say no, then you're not going to have it, and you need it so bad that you're just going to say yes. And honestly, ladies, like, we are worth more than that. Like, we deserve someone who will respect us and who will love us and who will care for us, and that will respect what we believe and respect what we want in relationships. And if we settle for less, then we're going to be treated like less. And I don't think we should. And I don't think that I should. And I don't think that you should either. Alright, so the next sign of neediness is if you're being the personal assistant, not the girlfriend. And this kind of goes along with the one before, number 3, with, you know, saying no. But it's like, you are not his personal assistant. Like, you do not run his life. You do not need to be running his finances. You don't need to be running his schedules. You don't need to be doing all this. Like, just chill. Like, you're just his girlfriend. And honestly, the girlfriend position is like, it's fickle. Like, that could change tomorrow. You know what I mean? And like, don't put so much of your time and energy. Of course, you want to invest some of yourself into the relationship in some ways, but when you are just their girlfriend, like, you do not need to be planning out their entire life for them. There are some things as a man that they have to learn to do on their own. You know what I mean? So you shouldn't be involved in every single little ounce of their life. Like, you are not the personal assistant. You are their girlfriend, so be their girlfriend. Let them handle some of their own stuff, you know what I mean? So that goes back to moderation. Of course, you can help with some things. You can help get this together, help them get that together, but remember, you're the girlfriend. You know what I mean? They're not paying you. Like, because you love them, of course you want to do things for them, but you're not the personal assistant, so chill. If they want to go hire one, let them do that, but don't bust your butt trying to, you know, do what they want you to do. Like, say no. Alright. Now, this is one that I've literally seen so many times, and honestly, I know this is rude, but it just makes me sick. It's just annoying. Like, no one wants to see that. It does, honestly. So I'll tell you what it is. Your Instagram page is only you and him. Now, I'm not saying this out of a place of jealousy or anything like that. Trust me, I am happily married, very happily married. Thank you very much. But when I just see pictures of you and him all over my like timeline all the time, it's just like, okay, we get it. Like, you're in love. Like, what is it about putting all that on the internet for everyone to see that's so important to you? Like, why can't you just be happy? Like, isn't being happy enough? Like, why does you need to broadcast it to the world every single day of the entire week? Like, we get it. You have a boyfriend. Is that it? Like, what is it? Are you looking for approval for someone else? Are you trying to make someone else jealous? Like, what is the deal? If that is you, evaluate why that is, because all that's going to do is get more people in your business, which is definitely not what you want in a relationship. Having less people in your business is good. Only people that should be in your business are people that you care about and people that can help you through some things and really give you good advice. And if they can't, then they don't need to know your business. So if your Instagram page is only you and him, then there's a problem. Like, you gotta chill, seriously. Even if you feel like they are your whole world, which shouldn't be the case, because even you can love somebody so much and care very deeply about them, but like you're not obsessed with them. You know what I'm saying? Obsession is like, that is scary stuff. Like, that's unhealthy. You know what I mean? You don't need to be obsessed with a person, you know? So just make sure that everything is in moderation. Of course you can post pictures of you and him, but like, I don't want to see you 24/7, 5 times a day on my timeline. I just don't. I don't want to see it. Like, unfollow. So the next thing is you spend a lot of money on him. Now, I just have a big problem with this, to be honest. Like, I have a serious issue, because I understand that women are more independent and more empowered and all that stuff these days, but at the same time, as a female, like, I want to be taken care of. Like, I want to be able to take care of myself, sure, but if I'm in a relationship, yeah, I want to be taken care of. I'm not a woman activist who feels like, oh yeah, you know, I make my own dough and I don't need a man for nothing, or this or that, or like I'll pay for his stuff. Like, that's not how I feel at all. Like, I really feel like, as a guy, if he really cares that much about you, then he should be investing into the relationship, as far as paying for your meals, buying you gifts, or whatever it is like that he does. Like, not saying that he needs to do all that stuff, because even when me and Daniel were dating, like, he didn't buy me gifts all the time and all that kind of stuff, but he needs to be invested into the relationship, like, in that way. You don't need to be spending your money on him. Every time you go out to eat, you're picking up the bill, or he's sliding it your way, or he wants this or he wants that, and you're buying, you know, big ticket items for him and things like that. Like, girl, chill, okay? Like, chill. Look, guys, this is a no. Girl, keep your money, girl. Like, do not spend your money on him. Like, you have to realize that it's a man's role to take care of you. Like, I don't even care if you don't want to be taken care of. Like, just accept it. Just receive it. Like, hello, what is the issue? Like, I really feel like when guys allow girls to spend all their money on them, they're really making a big statement with that. I believe that they're saying, I got her. Like, she'll do whatever. Like, you know, I'll just get her to buy this for me, or I'll just get her to buy that for me, or I'll just get her to handle this or handle that. You should not be paying his bills. You should not be paying for his food. I mean, sometimes maybe if like you're going out and grabbing something to eat and bringing it to him or something like that, that's cool. If you want to surprise him, cool. But every time you guys go out on a date or go out for a meal, you shouldn't be picking up the tab or paying for the movie tickets and all that stuff. Like, that is not your job, okay? Like, and I'm sorry, but that's just the way that it is. Like, now if you guys have some type of understanding, whatever, how you work it out, like, that's fine, more power to you. But if you find that you're spending more money on him than he's spending on you, there's an issue there, because that tells me that you're more invested in the relationship than he is, and that is a problem. You know how people say put your money where your mouth is? Well, that's the same thing in relationships. Even the Bible says it, you know, where a man's treasure is, there will his heart be also. Yep. So think about it. Where is he putting his treasure at? Is he spending money on you and pampering you and, you know, whatever he's doing, even if it's not in an excessive amount, but is he investing into the relationship financially? You know what I mean? Is he? And even if he's not, you have to make sure that then you're not either. You know what I mean? Like, don't go out and feel like you need to get him a $5,000 gold chain, you know, because that's what he wants. You know what I mean? And the last thing that he got you was, you know, a $15 headband from Target. Like, something is wrong, okay? So we really have to talk about this money thing. Like, girl, keep your money in your pocket. Like, do not Do not let a guy drain your bank account. He says, oh, you know, I just really need this. I had to take care of this and this, and I got this bill, I got this car payment, something. Well, sure, you'll figure it out. You know, you're smart. He's a guy. Like, there's some things that he has to go through in life because he is a guy. He has to learn how to work through that type of stuff. Like, it is not your job to bail him out. Like, let him grow in some areas. Like, do not spend all your money on him. It's frustrating me that girls do this because it just shows major neediness. It's like you're paying him to stay around. Like, you're paying him because you need him. Like, that is not your job. No, it's not your job. And if he's not financially stable, then maybe you should rethink the relationship, or maybe you should rethink the timing of the relationship, because obviously he got some stuff that he got to get together, honey. Just saying. All right. So the next sign of thirst is, well, this is just the kind of the conclusion of the neediness section. If you ever question if you're doing too much, then you definitely are. If you ever question if you're doing too much, then you definitely are. You need to cut back. Like, you need to put things in perspective. And if you feel like the relationship is kind of like, you kind of check many of these off, like, okay, yeah, I'm doing that. Okay, yeah, I'm doing that. Then maybe the person doesn't deserve all that you're doing. Because if they can't match up and come up to the plate, like, it's not, like, it shouldn't be you going 80% and then him coming like 10, and then you still feel like you have to do more because you guys are not meeting. Like, it should be like you're kind of staying where you are. He puts some input in, you're like, oh wow, maybe I'll take a step. He takes like 4 steps, and you're like, okay, maybe I'll take another step. Like, you know what I mean? It's not playing games, but it's guarding your heart. It's guarding yourself, because once you put yourself out there, like, it's hard to bring yourself back sometimes. And sometimes, even if the relationship is not good for us, we still want to stick with it, and we still want to stay in it because we've invested so much into it, or because we feel like this is our chance, and we want it so bad, but is it really good for us? Like I said, like, take time for you, personal time, but also make a decision for you. Like, if this is not the relationship you should be in, then sometimes you just have to let it go, you know what I mean? And maybe it'll come back around when it's the right time, but if it's not the right time, sometimes you just gotta let it go. Alright, so also another sign of neediness, if you're over jealous about little things, like, if you're checking his cell phone all the time, then you don't trust him. Like, then you have a trust issue. But if you're checking his phone and you're seeing coworker from work says, hey, can you cover my shift from this time to this time? You're like, oh yeah, sure, I don't mind. And the person sends thanks with a smiley face, and he sends a winky face back, and you're just like, oh my god, he sent her an emoji. Like, I can't. Like, he's cheating on me. Like, girl, you need to calm down. Like, you need to chill. Like, some things are not that serious. And if you're that jealous, and that means that there's something in you that doesn't trust the person at all. If you really think they're cheating on you because it's in a winky face emoji. And then sometimes, like, you know deep down inside that the guy's no good for you. Maybe he is cheating, but you're still sticking with him for whatever reason. Make the choice for you. And if you're getting over jealous, then it's just adding negative energy to your life. And so maybe that's still not the right reason. Like, honestly, I don't know why we get into this thing, ladies, that if this guy doesn't work out, then nothing's ever going to work out. Like, I have to make this guy work. Like, there are plenty of fish in the sea, and you are beautiful, and you're interesting. There's something special about you that nobody else in this world has, and there's more than one person that can love that about you. So don't worry about, oh no, like, this is my last chance, or this or that. Like, the right person will come along and find you. It's not your job to find him. Like, if you can learn to be happy on your own, just doing what you're doing, just being you, like, I'm just telling you, that is what a guy will fall in love with about you. The fact that you can love yourself, and the fact that you can be yourself, and then somebody can come along. But if you're just trying to make yourself into somebody so that a guy will like you, make yourself into someone that you think that someone will like, then that's when you're falling short, because you're not being you. And the person that someone will love is actually you. Alright? So when we talk about solutions, we talk about realizing that neediness can likely stem from insecurities. And this is a big thing, because a lot of females have insecurities. Even females that you would never suspect that would have insecurities, a lot of females do. And I think that it's important for us to realize that everybody has some form of insecurity in some way. Nobody is perfect in that area. But if you have insecurities about yourself that you feel like you need a man to complete you, if like you're not enough on your own and things like that, then those are the times that you need to work on yourself, because a relationship is the thing that can tear you down the most. Because what happens when you accept just any old guy who's no good for you just because you feel like you need someone? Okay, sorry you guys, my camera died and I had to change the battery. But like I was saying, you guys, you have to be true to you. You have to fall in love with you. You have to do something for you. Fall in love with yourself, and I promise you, you will be so happy. You won't feel like you need to rely on someone else or something else. Like, it will be inside of you. And like I said, like, my time with God allows me to do that. Me knowing how much God actually loves me helps me fall in love with myself. It pushes me, it drives me, and that's what does it for me. So, like I said, you have to find the thing that does it for you. And I know a relationship with God, that's a guaranteed way. That's like everything. That's really the only true way, in my opinion, that you can find like true happiness and true love for who you are. Because God is the one who made you, so He's the one who can tell you the most about yourself, the things that you don't even know. But another thing is, set goals for yourself. Set goals and take the steps that it takes to reach them. Set goals for your own life. Like, if we're so caught up in, oh yeah, I'm gonna marry this man and I'm gonna do this for him and that for him, and then we're gonna get married and then we're gonna have kids, and all my life is I'm gonna have his babies and this and that. Like, what about you? What do you want out of life? What is your desire? Your life should not be being such and such's wife. Like, you have to have something about you, you know? What is your purpose? What is your legacy? What is for you? Make goals and take steps to reach it. If you want to own a business, then go ahead and own a business. If you're older and you want to go back to college, go back to college. Do what you want to do. Do something for you. And then when you are doing something for you and you're falling in love with yourself and this and that, then someone will come along who will love you. And then you'll understand why they love you. And then you won't need to be needy, because you're like, yeah, I know, I love myself too. I don't need you. You know what I mean? And then you get to the point to where, you know, you fall in love and you can really trust a person, because you can tell that they're not just trying to get something from you, or you don't feel like you're attached to them, or if they disappear, then you're gonna crumble beneath your feet. Like, you know what I mean? Have something about yourself to where you're good. You know what I mean? All that is the stuff that I'm saying, a lot of it is from personal experience, because even if you're not insecure with your own self, you can still be insecure in relationships. And the reason that people are insecure in relationships, and me, is because you don't believe, even if the person is telling you things about yourself, there's something in you that doesn't believe it. And because they're telling it to you, there's something inside of you that makes you think like that it's gonna end, or like they're gonna find something wrong, or this or that. Those are the types of things that can make you feel insecure in a relationship. And honestly, like, you have to know that you're a gem. You have to know that you're fabulous. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes you have to really get in that mode where you realize, like, okay, let me do some things for myself. Let me separate from you for a minute. Like, I don't need you. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to look at the person and tell them, like, I don't need you to be happy. Like, I'm happy without you. Like, you make me happy as well, but like, I don't need you to be happy. Like, I can be happy without you. Because sometimes when a guy can sense the neediness, he can sense the insecurity, then he's automatically going to take advantage, whether he does it on purpose or not, because he knows, like, you'll do whatever it takes to keep him. And we don't need to keep a man. Like, all we need to do is be ourselves, and if he don't like that, then he can get to step in like it. You know what I mean? And so, you know, I just encourage you guys to really just explore who you are, really explore what your passions and your desires are, what your dreams are, and your goals for life. Think about those types of things, because being married can be a dream, but that's not a destination. Like, you know what I mean? That's just another step to a journey. So don't get so caught up in just wanting to be married so bad that you forget that once you get married, like, there's a life that comes with that. It's not just getting married, you know? And I think for me, for so long, ever since I was like 9 years old, I wanted to get married so bad. And then, like, you know, I finally got to that place where I was content with myself and my lifestyle, where I feel like I didn't need to get married to be happy. And then, you know, not too long after that, I ended up getting engaged and getting married, and I'm, you know, the happiest that I've ever been. But I didn't get there by, you know what I mean, feeling like I need this, I need this, I need this, I need it so bad, you know what I mean? like it didn't come from that. It came from me realizing, like, I'm straight, like, I can be happy with me and pursuing my own goals. after I got married, I'm like, this is not a destination, like this is a journey, and like this is my chance to, you know, follow my dream and do what I wanted to do, and this is what I wanted to do, so here I am, and I'm so happy. But just know that it has to be the right person. Like, you have to realize that though nobody's going to be perfect, like no one should be like not making any of the checks off your list at all, you know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't be in a place to where you're compromising on everything and the other person is not, you know, compromising at all or pulling any weight or putting anything in. Like, so just make sure that you're in a proper place in a relationship, and that you're not being the needy one, because nobody wants to be the needy one, but sometimes we don't realize when we are being the needy one. So sometimes we just need to reevaluate everything and just decide, like, okay, do I need to take some time for me? Do I need to do something for me? Or is my relationship balanced? And it's fine. Like, it could be either way. But in relationships, we have to just learn how to keep relationships healthy. And I just want to encourage all of you girls out there, all of you women out there, to pursue what you want to do. Always be you and pursue what you want to do. That's really like the basis of this. That's really the basis of this, because I've seen guys get in the way of a person's journey, of a person's destiny, of who they're supposed to be, of what they're supposed to be, because they're so wrapped up in this thing that they can't do anything for themselves. And I don't want that to happen to any of you guys. I really want you guys to be able to take control of your life and to be able to make decisions that can push you forward and progress you in life and not hold you back. You know what I mean? And also, like, if you find that your relationship is taking a toll on your emotions negatively, like more often than not, and it's just like a pattern, like, you gotta let that go. Like, I'm all about getting rid of dead weight, getting rid of things that I don't need in my life anymore, whether it's people, whether it's stuff, whatever it is, just getting rid of it. And I feel like the same thing is with relationships. And just remember, like, it's not like this, like Beyonce said, like, don't have this thought in your mind that you're irreplaceable. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't have a thought in your mind that he's irreplaceable, because if he's the person for you, it will work out. If he's not the person for you, it's not going to work out. Like, it's as simple as that. So make sure that sometimes we have to make those tough decisions, those hard decisions, and we just have to learn to let something go or let someone go. And even if, you know, you really like it, it's like, but it's not for me, it's not the best for me, and this is not what's gonna make me ultimately happy. Even if it may bring me happiness now, it's not gonna ultimately give me happiness. And you gotta let that stuff go, girl. I'm just here to encourage you guys and help you. So I hope that this helped you guys. I hope this was like a little bit of life lessons with Beth or whatever like that. I'm not really planning on naming this anything, but you know, I really hope that you guys can relate to this and that it can help you, and that it can help you make some decisions for you, for a change. Because I know sometimes we can just get so caught up in our guys that we just want them to have everything in the whole world and forget that we don't even have a small town. So, you know, sometimes we just got to make those decisions and do what's best for us in the long run. So, like I said, this is not really about a guy who just seems like no good in the beginning, because that you should already know. But this is kind of like those hidden things that you don't really notice that may be red flags in the situation or something like that, or, you know, that you could be a certain way. But, you know, all these are just signs that you have some work to do on you, and you're not, you know, you're not in a place to where you can be in a relationship with this person if it's pulling this much on you and pulling on who you are, you know? So just remember to stay true to you, be you, never compromise who you are for another guy or for anything else. Just remember that whatever dreams or passions or goals you have, you go after those and you pursue those no matter what, and you don't give up. You don't compromise who you are and what you believe for any guy. It's not worth it. And sometimes we just gotta let something go. So I hope you guys got something from this. I hope it helped you. I hope you guys can relate to it. I did give some personal experience from my life as well. So stuff that's helped me get to the place that I am right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully we can do this again. If you guys liked it, let me know, and I'll talk to you guys in my next one. Bye. So
it's a family. Grandpa,
Uncle,
Aunt
Grandma,
Aunt Jemima,
Uncle Ben,
Aunt Jemima.
Uncle Ben.